Alright, so now we need to kind of figure out, is there money to be made? Like, is there an audience out there? Is there people out there that are going to want to buy our product? And all that sort of good stuff. So just because the item is popular on AliExpress, we don't actually know where they're advertising. So we don't know if it's selling on Facebook very well or on Instagram. But what we're going to do is, before you actually take your product online, you want to just make sure there's actually an audience, and you can use a thing called Audience Insights on Facebook. It gives you a general idea of how big the audience is, how passionate they can be, depending on what pages we put in, and all that sort of stuff. So I will run you through that. This isn't going to be a crazy tutorial about this, because I'm going to put that in the Facebook module. But it's just a good idea to take your product, take your niche from AliExpress and put it into here, just to cross-reference, and you can just see how big the audience is going to be, or you can just basically, that's what it's for, just to see how big the audience is, because if it's not big enough for you, then there's no point in us carrying on, right? You should need to find a new product. For this example, we're going to use this here. Right, I really like this product. I'm actually probably going to try to sell it myself, hopefully before the course is out. But we're going to use this product here. So this would be perfect for wine bottles. It should be, yeah, so they're wine bottles. So we're going to hit wine. So what I'm going to do first is just go into United States. I'm going to put United States. I want to hit 18 to probably going to do 18 to like 50, because even, quite older people, like, we'll just do 55 actually. All. And I'm going to put wine in the interest section, right? Wine. I'm actually just going to get a notepad up here. So we'll clear this out. We're going to need this. So I'm going to just copy things. I'm just going to copy stuff. So copy this into here. I'm going to copy this into here. Just anything kind of wine related. Wine. Food and wine, probably a little bit too broad, but we'll throw that in there. What else we got here? So if you don't know what this is like, it'll tell you. So it's like pages, websites. This one's actually wine, like labels. Let's go down and have a look. Okay, so I've got 3 things, and what I want to do with these is now I want to get rid of the actual wine. And now I want to put in these labels here. And actually this one's, I like this one. What it'll do is it's going to bring us up. Alright, so this one has 450 to 500k. So we're going to do that. 450 to 500k, I think that was. Yep, and then we're going to do another one. What's this one here? Because you don't just want to go wine, right? It's too broad. We're not just going to go wine. This one here is the same as well. It's 450 to 500. So you'll probably have to stack these. Okay, now see another one's come up. So we're going to copy that. This is all I do. I just go through after I bought my product. After I found my product. And I'm going to go here. Twisted wine. Oh, now there's lots. Now we have lots of wine stuff. This one here. What else have we got here? I've never searched this before, so I'm trying to just kind of get a rundown here. Okay, so it's clear that wine companies are quite popular. Obviously, because that's what we're looking for here, but another one, and sometimes these won't pop up, just remember that. Okay, this is 150 to 100 to 150, not that great. Sorry. Twisted wine. Just remember, this is just a general thing. I don't spend a lot of time on this because I'm just trying to gauge if there's actually an audience. I can dial down my stuff later on. So this is the same 150 to 2. Oh, see another one. Look, another one just popped up. Boom. Oh, look, another one. Stephen Walker Winery. So 150 to 200. I think that's what it said. Stephen Walker Winery. Rodney Strong Winery. We'll check that out. 60 to 70k, not that big at all. But what I'll show you, what we'll do. Okay, and then we'll do this one here. You get a general idea of what we're up to. Nothing. So we'll get rid of that. We don't want that one. We don't want that one. Food and wine. This is going to be huge, but we'll throw it in. Yeah, so 2.5 to 3 million. 2.5 to 3 million. What I'll do with this one is I'll keep it out of the way, because this is actually too broad. Like, it is really quite broad. But then we can find other stuff here. So we're going to go like even like you know, wine spectacular. It doesn't have to be like wine. You can do food and stuff, because a lot of people, you know, a lot of cooks and that, they love to drink wine, or wine's part of recipes, all of that stuff. So you don't have to, with something like this, you don't have to necessarily go with just wine, but obviously it's a wine product. So well, beer or wine thing, but you kind of get the idea. I'm just trying to give you a general idea. See, that one didn't show up, so that's a dud. What else we got? Wine Spectacular magazine, 150 to 200k. Okay, so now I've got some stuff, right? Now I'll show you what's up. I'll show you what's up now. Okay, so I've got some stuff right now. I'm just going to stack them in here. So I've got that one. I've got, this is a, I'm going to leave the 60 to 70 out of here for now. I'm going to stack this in here as well. I'm going to stack this one in here. I'm going to stack this one in here. And then I'm going to stack this one in here. Okay, so just right then, within a few minutes really, I didn't even dive in deep. I haven't dived in deep yet. I found 5 interests with a total of 1 million to 1.5. Really kind of like pretty much the perfect audience size I usually go for. It's actually funny it's come up with the perfect size. That's what I usually go for. So, and look, here's Wine de Argentina, another winery. So you see it just keeps going. So I am going to actually use this in my Facebook example later on in the module, because it's actually a really, really good product and niche to dive into. There's a lot of options here, but you get the idea. So I've just really brushed over the top of this. I haven't even dived deep, and I've already found an audience of up to 1.5 million. So I know there's people out there that will definitely be interested in this. I know that there's an audience I can hit. Right, so that's briefly just what I do. So if I find a product, I go into Audience Insights, and I want to make sure there's actually people there that I can target. And I want to make sure they're really dialed down targets. You see it's Barefoot Wine and Bubbly, Beringer Vineyards, Kim Crawford Wines, Twisted Wine, Wine Spectator, right? So you see these are all wine-related stuff. And I'll show you later on in Facebook how we can stack a lot of these, do flex targeting, and actually get really into the depths of this sort of stuff. But you get the idea, okay? So make sure you do this before you actually dive into advertising your products, because you might set up your site, you might get the product in there, you might do all the descriptions, and then you might get to Facebook later on to advertise, and you might find you don't actually have an audience. So you definitely need to do this before you actually carry on. And also Instagram, just go to Instagram, because you might want to do Instagram shout outs later on. And I'm just going to put wine in here, and I'm going to go to food and wine. I'm going to go to here, and I'm just going to scroll through. I haven't done any of this. So I've just noticed now that there's not actually many wine pages. But if you're going to be doing Instagram influencers, you can maybe try and get on board with the cooking channel. You can maybe try and get on board with actually, you know what, some of these channels will be so good. Not very much engagement though. Actually, that might be a dead channel. We're gonna go, who's this lady here? See, like, this would be a perfect influencer to actually try and contact if you could. Yeah, see, so we know there's a market here for this type of stuff. Even though it's not related to wine, it's still a lady who's passionate about cooking and food and all that sort of stuff, and she's got a following that's passionate about all that stuff too. So all she's got to do is put a post up about your product, and boom, this is our product here. Boom, you're gonna make money, right? Because this lady is very, very passionate, and so will her followers. Who's this one? This one's the same thing, kind of home and cooking sort of type deal, I think. So you get the idea. I basically go through the media platforms that I'm planning to advertise on or do shout outs on or whatever to make sure that there's actually a audience out there. So this one's probably not the best. So yeah, I do that to make sure there's actually an audience, because I don't want to just waste my time searching for products that are not going to work, right? It's really that easy. Like, if it doesn't work, it doesn't work. See, this is that Wine Spectator. These are the ones we found here, right? So now we have the Instagram page, and they might do they might do some advertising for us. Like, it's so important to get this dialed down. You want to make sure there's an audience there. You want to make sure you know that people are going to buy your product. And this is actually a perfect page. All right, so moral of the story in this one, we know that our wine niche is hot. We can get into this niche. We have a good product. So this is the product that I'm going to be using throughout this course. Okay, it's a perfect example of a product that solves a problem. It is selling well. It is interesting. It's really actually a very good product. So that's what we're going to use, but make sure you check out the insights first to make sure there's actually an audience for whatever product you choose. And probably a good idea to hit up Instagram briefly as well, just to see if you can find some influencers on here or pages that you can advertise on, if you want to, if that's what you're aiming for with your advertising. So that's it. Let's move on to the next one. You see what I've done. We went through it. Now let's move on to the next stage and see what we can do there.